Welcome, one and all, to Tales from the Tapes. This is the show where we take a look at my archive and see what we can find. And today we're talking about one of the biggest things that I have ever found. Welcome to the very strange world of King of the Hill's quote-unquote banned episode, Pigmalion. Yeah, this is that episode, the one with the pigs and with Michael Keaton. Yeah, good times all around. But before we dive into Pigmalion and its very strange history, let me show off the tape that'll be presented today. Shelf number 4201, the Fox Sunday night primetime block with Pigmalion's premiere from Two Rivers, Wisconsin. And I know I said it was Twin Lakes last time I talked about it, but you can understand me getting confused, right? Twin Lakes, Two Rivers, they're both towns in Wisconsin with very similar names. Come on, Wisconsin, get it together! So let's pop it in the player and learn all about Pigmalion. Pigmalion is a very strange beast. This is easily the darkest episode that King of the Hill has ever made. It's about Luann falling in love with this pork product company owner named Trip Larson, and little by little, he manipulates her into becoming one of the company's mascots in real life. And it all ends with Luann breaking free, learning how to fend for herself, and Trip getting impaled by a skewer, and then this creepypasta urban legend thing getting spread around the internet, but one thing at a time. Pigmalion was produced in Season 5, but it wasn't aired until Season 7. We don't have any concrete reasons for why this happened, but I have a pretty good idea, as does the rest of the internet. The fact that this thing is way darker and just different in general from the rest of the episodes in the show. And this wasn't the case of, oh no, we produced too many episodes so we have to hold one back, because that just doesn't happen. It's also not the case of the episode simply not being ready by the time it premieres, so they have to hold it back. For one, it wouldn't take that long to finish whatever they were working on, and two, there's nothing over the top or fantastically animated that would require 2 whole years worth of extra work. So it has to be the content. And I've got more evidence to go off of than just common sense. See, the way that Pigmalion aired was very strange. See, this aired on January 12th, 2003. The same day as some classic episodes from other Fox shows like Futurama's Kif Gets Knocked Up a Notch.
In 20 years they'll sprout legs and crawl back onto land as children.
I'll be ready then.
No way.
Or another King of the Hill episode, Megalodale. Oh, and it's also the day that The Simpsons The Dad Who Knew Too Little premiered, and that's not great. For some reason, the Fox schedule seemed to not have enough shows to fill up the Sunday lineup, so they had one segment set aside for reruns. Instead of the rerun, what Fox decided to do was just throw Pigmalion onto the schedule with no advertising, no heads up whatsoever, and just let the viewers sit back and enjoy. All the promotion for that week was for Megalodale. If you were someone who was watching Fox that night with no prior knowledge of the schedule, you would think it's just any other night. You're getting one King of the Hill episode, one Simpsons episode, and one Futurama. How would you know that a second, much darker episode was going to hit the airwaves in just a short amount of time? Answer: you wouldn't. It almost feels like Fox tried to bury Pigmalion and prevent people from knowing about it. But no, there it is. Bask in its strangely dark glory, folks.
Life is a series of compromises.
And just like the thing we talked about on the last episode of Tales from the Tapes, the new Swiss Family Robinson, once Pigmalion hit the airwaves, it too disappeared. Albeit, not forever. Pigmalion wasn't shown on TV all that often, but it made an appearance every so often. Though, some people would claim that it did so with an alternate ending. According to many people who saw it at the time, Pigmalion's original ending featured Trip Larson getting skewered as we see in the version we have now, but then at the end, we see his bloody and or impaled body being dragged along by a meat hook on the top of the screen. This, my friends, is all false. And I've proven so on this very channel. I sound a little weird because, as far as I remember, I was just getting over a cold. But the fact of the matter is that this tape has the original airing of Pigmalion, and there is no bloody corpse in sight. There we go! Mystery solved! Again. I know that many people find Pigmalion interesting because of the dark undertones and themes throughout the episode, but for me, the most interesting part is how it just showed up and then disappeared again, only making sporadic appearances throughout the years. It's one of the 2 Halloween episodes that King of the Hill ever produced. Why not make a big deal about it? Or, you know, air it in October when people are ready to see some darker things? Don't forget, around this time, The Simpsons' Treehouse of Horror episodes were starting to take some bigger risks. They were getting wilder, darker, and more violent. So if that was okay, why wouldn't something like Pygmalion be as well? The best word I can use to describe Pygmalion's premiere is wasteful. Animation is very expensive. So are guest stars. If you have Michael Keaton in this episode, you know, Batman and Mr. Mom, you should probably make a pretty big deal out of it. Otherwise, people won't be as enticed to watch. The same thing happened with the Weird Al show. Every episode had a guest star list a mile long, and nobody knew anything about it because the network decided to keep their mouths shut. I don't get it. Do you guys not want to succeed? So that, my friends, is the story of Pygmalion, an episode that took risks and then paid the price for it. For 2 years. Well, folks, thanks for watching the video. What'd you guys think? Have you seen Pygmalion before? And what do you remember from seeing the original premiere, if, of course, you were around during that time? Comment below and let me know, because I'm always excited to hear what you guys have to say. And now, it's time to thank our wonderful Patreon people, starting with our Masters of Fate. Chan 11, Drew the Stew, Kev Messick, Manny Paredes, MD the Dude, Platinum Bass, Quiet Chap, Ryan Williams, Timey, and Woody Woo. And now it's time to thank our executive producers, Aaron Vasquez, Albert Robinson, Blackjack, H.R. Hoffman, Indiscreet One, Orsonus, Ravioli Supremo, Unkale, and who else but Zane. If you two would like your name read at the end of every Media Mementos video, then please consider donating to the Patreon. There's a link in the description below for you to check out. And we've also got a link to the Media Mementos Discord server right under that. So stop on by and say hello. Alright folks, thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you guys next time, where we're gonna talk about something kinda weird. A made-for-TV movie that starts off as one thing, but then pulls a Doki Doki Literature Club to become both much more severe and much more compelling. We'll be getting into that next time.
Oh, just like a baby.